This is an example of up potting or potting up one of your papaya babies. And these seedlings, they grow really well in the Algarvian soil. So I've taken it from this pot. I'm going to put it into this pot in the bottom. I've put some gravel, stones, and universal vegan substrate for drainage. Drainage is a really important thing here because you don't want the root system or the root ball, the tap roots here, to get moldy or have any type of fungus. And that is something that can happen here. So yeah, now that I've taken it out of the first pot, the next thing is to just gently put it in the next pot, put some water in it, some more soil, cover it up, and put it somewhere. So now it's transplanted. We have some borehole non-chlorinated water on it, and then we put it back in the shady beach area. And the long-term plan again is to put it right here in the banana circle when they're roughly the size that the 7 dwarves were when we bought them, which, as you can see, it's still going to take a while. They were a little bit smaller when we bought them, the 7 dwarves, but basically, because we're not fenced in and critters can run through here and mistakes can happen, I don't want to risk planting these papaya right now. Just a little bit bigger, not too much, but a little bit. That's a papaya tree right there. So this is one that was potted up, and it's like the trunk of it is like a proper tree. It's really been amazing. It looks a lot like its older sister Nelia. Here's another one, I guess, number 2 of the list, if we're counting most impressive papayas that I have. So Nelia would be number 1. Number 2, number 3. We're not numbering you secretly. Don't get mad. Yeah, and I have, I don't know, there's 4 here. And again, only because it's so deep is that even working for them. But they would have to be weeded out at some, like thinned out or transferred. And as they get bigger, I was just letting them get to be like a little bit bigger, and then I was going to take them out of there. It's not fun to up pot them, but you have to. You know, this is right here. This is the one that I just up potted. So it's necessary, you know. You take the smaller ones and you can use them as compost for the bigger ones. This way seems to work, where we cut a jug sideways, and it seems to work. Like, you can see how healthy they are and how happy they are. I have a few babies in the ground I could show you as well here now, but on our second terrace, and they're doing well. Ultimately, the goal is to get them to their final resting place, right? A really great side-by-side comparison of a root ball system here that didn't have rocks for drainage and one that did. You can see the rocks are still in there and the rocks are right here. Really great side-by-side difference. Some rocks for drainage, no rocks for drainage. So we have 3 different potted sets of papayas here. And in one, this first one, I had rocks for drainage mixed into the bottom. And you can see the roots are very white. The papayas themselves look good, but are getting crowded. Here's an example of a potted papaya plant that I didn't put rocks at the bottom. Comparatively speaking, you can see, wow, they look a little yellow and weak, and the bottom looks almost like it's rotting because it's been basically soaked, and the bottom of the pot itself was still wet as I took this one out. And it's similar. What a difference. And I'm in the Algarve in Portugal, so it may be different here, but we're watering every day because we have to, and when it's not the rainy season, but also the temperature differentials. It gets really hot, really cold, so you're dealing with almost like making soup. If the water doesn't have anywhere to go, it can sit there and basically create almost like a stir fry in the bottom. You don't want to do that. The water will get warm. It'll start to rot everything. You're like cooking it basically. So drainage is important here in the Algarve. Here are the 2 papaya that I planted behind vetiver in shade. You can see the one right there. And we call these the Blaine twins. Blaine was our last guest from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. So we planted these two in her honor and named them after her. So they're okay, they're doing well. You know, my concern is direct sunlight. That one was the most recent addition. And they are in their final form. Obviously, this one here is a nice vivid shade of green. I feel like the vetiver is helping. Of course, the rain yesterday helped. And you can see lots of nice green leaves. And this one's growing. So basically just keep doing what we're doing into the rainy season and those should be okay. That's the plan. This is an example of where I had just a bowl full of papaya seeds and I buried it about 4 fingers or 4 inches under the soil, covered it with soil and let it grow 2 weeks. So this is what you can expect to see. And I didn't really do any soil amendments here. I just wanted to see if it would grow naturally in like Algarvian soil. Now they say that you should, as they grow, you should prune them, which is really difficult to do for a guy like me because I like to see all the plants growing. But knowing that each one is an individual papaya tree, it's actually for the best that you either uproot them, this little guy, you either uproot them and leave them there as like a chop and drop, or transplant the seedlings somewhere else. Obviously we have so many papayas because at some point they start competing, right? And what you want is maybe, 4 or 5 hardy target papayas that are going to grow and not what winds up happening and what I've seen is they're overcrowded and then the leaves get paler and paler. You can see that they're competing for nutrients at some point and you can't grow this many. I mean, imagine if these were full-size papaya trees. You can't grow that many full-size papaya trees that close to each other, but as they grow, you'll know. And I really don't like doing this because I like to continually look. I don't want to waste those guys, so sometimes I'll go plant them somewhere else. But I have so many already. Basically, papaya is just super fertile and easy to grow here in the Algarve. As vegans, our compost is just fruits and veggies, and you might think that's weird to pile it in the garden, but basically a normal routine for us is to come out in the garden and see a bunch of pollinators just hanging out because they love the shade, they love the break, we leave them water, and of course the fruit flies and flies want to get drunk on all the fermented fruit, get their buzz on, they get free sugars, and the ants are happy collecting for the rainy season, bringing everything underground. It's buzzing with life, right? Buzzing with life. And that's the idea of giving back to the soil and to the farm and to the land in a holistic permaculture, fair trade way. So we're conscious of what we take and we're conscious of giving back as vegans running a farm stay here in the Algarve. Come see us at L.O.V.E. Farmstay.
I'm off the grid. Got tats on my ribs. Tattoos on my ribs.
Are you tired of reincarnating? Me too. Now show the world that you don't want to reincarnate with this Do Not Reincarnate t-shirt.